Okay, so I'm here to tell you all about my experiences with lucid dreaming and divine messages. And by divine, all I mean is that I can't exactly say what the source of this message was, only that it seemed as if nature itself were giving me instructions on how to handle my life better at some time that I needed it the most. Some of you may take this as God, and some of you may say it's your self-conscious. To be honest, I'm not exactly sure what the difference in those two really are, and I think it's beyond our comprehension. Anyhow, I will explain some of these instances that have occurred in my life. It all started when I first started reading this book by Carlos Castaneda called The Art of Dreaming, which I'm sure a lot of you who are watching this video are probably aware of. And as I finished the book, the idea of lucid dreaming was on my mind a lot, and I think it was purely the intention that I wanted to that actually made it start to happen. And I had maybe 2 or 3 lucid dreams a week shortly after I finished the book, and a lot of them wouldn't seem like they would make a lot of sense, and I would be in like huge mansions, just walking around, going into weird colored rooms, different things like that. And then it got really interesting. I got to where I could jump, and just by merely thinking that I wanted to fly, I could go out around the neighborhood or go see places that I know actually exist in real life. And I'm sorry that I forgot to mention just before this that merely when they started, just to make it happen, I would just look at my hands. When I looked at my hands, I would get a weird drunk, dizzy-like feeling, but as soon as that happened, I knew I was lucid and I had to move like I was on a mission after that. And anytime I would become obsessed with something, I would fall out of the dream shortly after that. Like I'm sure a lot of you guys who have lucid dreamed have encountered a woman or so in a dream, and I'm pretty sure you found out that if you tried to have sex with her, you probably fell out of your dream pretty quick. Unless you've built your lucidity up quite a bit. But a lot of people have had lucid dreams before they really knew what lucid dreaming was all about. Anyhow, I was going through a stage with my baby's mother. We had split up several times, but we had came upon a time when I was pretty sure it was going to happen for good. And it was mostly my fault. I had left, and about a month afterward, I would say I kind of regretted my decision because I was used to being with her for so long. It really just hit me then, and it was probably the hardest time of my life as of yet, and it was extremely painful, and I didn't know what to do. And I started intending in my sleep to try to get an answer to this, and for a couple of months I never really got one. Most of the dreams were like I described earlier, but out of nowhere one night I woke up into a lucid state, but everything was black. It was kind of like a sleep paralysis, if you've ever been in one of those. And all of a sudden I heard like a classical type of music. Kind of sounded like a Beethoven piece. Anyhow, it was playing and it was really soothing, and I was just listening to it, and out of nowhere I appeared in a hotel, and my baby's mother was lying on the bed. And I reached over to touch her, and as I did that, everything went black again. And a voice appeared to me, a really, really deep, man-like voice, told me that I've chosen my path. And that's all that it said. And I felt like I was twisting and twirling around the air in this blackness, and all of a sudden it went back into the hotel room again. And she wasn't on the bed anymore. And the whole time I was aware that I was dreaming, and I felt like I was taking in a message, and it went back to the music, and I felt like that soothed my soul almost, in a sense, for maybe another 5 to 10 minutes, and I woke up, and everything just seemed a lot easier after that. I felt like whatever this message was sent for was to tell me that I had chosen my path and to stick it out the way that I've gone, and that everything will go smoothly, because I was living in the past regretting my decisions, and I felt fine ever since that day. And up until that point, I was really depressed, suicidal type feeling, and it really helped me a lot. And that was the first time that I had received a message in my lucid dreaming. And it's happened on 2 other occasions. I can't say that these 2 are as significant as far as helping me wise, but I'm trying to remember the second one. Alright. I don't exactly remember what I was going through in my life at the point in time of this second one, but I do remember just waking up with that same feeling, like I was whirling around in a tornado of blackness, and all of a sudden I could see, and there was just so many beautiful things around me, like birds and insects and trees and all sorts. And I'm just seeing everything. And again, it's also a deep voice that comes out of nowhere and tells me to respect the creative freedom of expression. And that is all that I can remember. And I'm not sure if I was said more. This one's kind of blurry to me now, but that's exactly what I remembered happening, and that's what I wrote down afterward. And ever since then, I've taken that into consideration, and I feel like I respect everyone's opinions and everyone's art forms a lot more since then, and I just felt like it was something that helped me in my life a lot. Like I said, it wasn't as significant as changing my life as the previous, but again, it was still very helpful. And the last but one that has happened was really simple. Actually, I just woke up into the lucid dreaming state, and I was walking around like a mountain range, and out of nowhere it kind of seemed like an earthquake started, and the ground split apart, and I just stopped. I didn't know what was happening, and everything went black again, and all I remember a voice saying is encouragement. Although for some reason I'm sure there was more. Sometimes it gets hard to remember these things, so all I wrote down was the word encouragement. And at this point in time in my life, the only place I could feel where I could apply that, it would be previously with my baby's mother. From the first one, after our relationship had ended, she had got strung out really bad on methamphetamine, and I felt like she probably needs some help and encouragement and things to help her try to get off of that path. And I felt like I needed to reach out to her and maybe try to help her. And just in general, people can use encouragement and hope, and everyone's life is hard and everyone needs help. So regardless if that's what that message was sent to me about or not, I feel like it improved my life quite a bit also, just from that one word. So I think it's pretty amazing, and I really don't have much else to say on that topic, but I would really appreciate it if any of you out there have received messages in your lucid dreams or anything to leave some comments. I'd be really interested to see what you have to say. Thank you for listening. I hope I helped.